Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into the wild world of English idioms. Those awesome phrases that make conversations pop, but can be just completely baffling if you don't know the secret meaning behind them.
I mean, have you ever been in a conversation and someone says it's raining cats and dogs, and you just picture little animals falling from the sky? Yeah, you're not alone. Idioms are these weird, wonderful phrases where the words themselves don't add up to the actual meaning. And honestly, getting a handle on them is one of the biggest keys to sounding like a natural.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to break down 8 really common idioms, and we've grouped them into 2 big themes. First, we'll look at human interaction, and then we'll dive into phrases that describe the ups and downs of Fortune's wheel.
Okay, first up, human interaction. Let's get into 4 idioms that just perfectly nail the complicated ways we deal with arguments, apologies, and, just getting along with each other. So our first one is to eat humble pie. This describes that, sinking feeling when you have to admit out loud that you messed up. And the origin is pretty cool, actually. It probably comes from medieval England, where the rich folks ate the best meat while the servants got the umbles, like the organ meats, in their pies. So eating humble pie was a sign you were of a lower status, which totally fits that feeling of being humbled. So you might hear someone say, after he lost the argument, he had to eat humble pie. You can just feel the sting of his defeat, right? He had to swallow his pride and admit he was wrong. That's exactly what this idiom is all about. All right, next up we've got crocodile tears. This is all about a fake display of sadness. The saying comes from this really old belief that crocodiles actually weep while they're eating their prey. It's such a powerful image for someone pretending to be sad, isn't it?
For example, she cried crocodile tears when she was caught lying. The phrase immediately tells you her tears are a total act. It's a performance to get sympathy, not a sign that she's actually sorry.
The wet blanket. We've all met one, right? This is that person at a party who's complaining about everything and just sucks the energy right out of the room. The metaphor is really literal. Think about how a wet blanket would smother a fire. Well, this person smothers all the fun. You can just hear the music in this example, can't you? Don't be a wet blanket. Come and dance with us. It's a fun, direct way to call someone out on their negativity and pull them back into the good time. Okay, so from ruining the fun to fixing the drama. The idiom to pour oil on troubled water is all about making peace. It actually comes from this old practice where sailors would pour oil onto stormy seas to try and calm the waves. It's a beautiful way to think about soothing a really tense situation. And here, the teacher isn't using actual oil, of course. She's using her words, her authority, whatever it takes to bring things back to a peaceful state. This idiom really shows someone actively stepping in to fix a conflict. And now, for our second theme, we're going to spin Fortune's wheel and look at idioms that are all about success, failure, risk, and reward. These phrases really get into the drama and chaos of life's ups and downs. When you carry the day, you've won. You're victorious. But it's more than just winning. It suggests that your effort, your argument, your strategy was the strongest, and it's what led to that success. It's got this real triumphant, almost heroic feeling to it. So if you hear, our team carried the day with strong teamwork, it tells you that their victory wasn't just a fluke. No, it was earned. Their ability to work together was the thing that made them successful. But of course, not all success lasts. A flash in the pan describes something or someone that gets a ton of attention and then just disappears. The phrase comes from old flintlock guns. See, the gunpowder in the pan might flash, but the gun wouldn't actually fire. So you get a bright flash, but zero real impact. And this example is so perfect for right now. His TikTok fame was just a flash in the pan. Someone can go viral, be the most famous person on the internet for a week, but if it doesn't lead to anything lasting, well, it was just a flash in the pan. Okay, time for some high-stakes drama. The sword of Damocles is just a fantastic idiom for describing some kind of looming, constant danger. It comes from an old Greek legend where a king hangs this heavy sword by a single horsehair right over a courtier's head, just to show him the constant danger that people in power face. So, for instance, losing his job was like a sword of Damocles over his head. Wow, that just powerfully captures that nonstop anxiety, doesn't it? The threat isn't some far-off problem, it's a heavy weight that could drop at any second. And finally, what happens when that threat actually hits?
Your plans can go up in smoke. This means they are completely, totally ruined. They disappear in thin air, just like smoke from a fire. There's literally nothing left.
And this example shows it perfectly. My travel plans went up in smoke when my passport expired. It wasn't a small delay or a little problem. The plans were completely destroyed, all because of one little thing.
So, what's the bottom line here? Well, first, idioms add so much color and personality to the way we talk. Second, and this is the big one, their meaning isn't literal. You can't just look at the words. And finally, context is everything. The situation is what tells you what an idiom really means. And that about wraps it up. But I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What is the most bizarre or just plain weirdest idiom you've ever heard in English or any other language? They're like these little windows into a culture's history and its sense of humor, and they really show how playful language can be. Thanks for tuning in.